The autumn of 1760 marked a pivotal moment in British history as the health of King George II, sovereign of Great Britain and Ireland, rapidly declined. Afflicted with blindness in one eye and hearing impairments, the aged monarch faced the inevitable challenges of advancing age. However, it was the morning of the 25th of October that witnessed a sudden and unexpected turn of events, culminating in the demise of George II and ushering in a transformative chapter for the British monarchy. In the autumn of 1760, the health of King George II, King of Great Britain and Ireland, had significantly deteriorated. By October of that year, he was not only blind in one eye, but also hard of hearing, signalling the challenges that he faced maintaining his physical well-being. It was against this backdrop of declining health that a pivotal moment unfolded on the fateful morning of the 25th of October. On that day, George II adhered to his routine, rising at the customary hour of 6 a.m. His morning ritual included the consumption of a cup of hot chocolate, a seemingly mundane act that belied the historic significance of impending events. Following his morning beverage, the king proceeded to his closed stall, intending to attend to personal matters and privacy. However, the ordinary quickly gave way to the extraordinary. A few minutes into his private moment, a loud crash echoed through the royal chamber, prompting immediate concern. The king's valet, alerted by the unexpected disturbance, hastened to the scene. To his dismay, he discovered George II on the floor, a peculiar sight given the circumstances. Frank Nichols, the king's physician, later documented the scene, noting that George II appeared to have just come from his necessary stool. The sudden and unexpected nature of the event left those in attendance bewildered, as the sovereign lay incapacitated on the chamber floor. Efforts were swiftly undertaken to address the situation. The fallen monarch was carefully lifted and placed into his bed, and Princess Amelia, a member of the royal family, was urgently summoned to his side. Tragically, before she could reach him, George II had already drawn his final breath. At the advanced age of nearly 77, he had outlived all of his English or British predecessors, leaving behind a legacy that had spanned decades. A subsequent post-mortem examination would shed light on the cause of George II's sudden demise. The findings revealed that he had succumbed to a thoracic aortic dissection, a serious and often fatal medical condition involving a tear to the aorta. This unforeseen and silent assailant had claimed the life of the aging monarch, marking the end of his reign and ushering in a new era for the British monarchy. The passing of George II held profound implications for the line of succession. His grandson, George III, ascended to the throne, inheriting the responsibilities and challenges that came with the royal mantle. The transition of power, though inevitable, signified a pivotal moment in British history. In accordance with regal traditions, George II was laid to rest on the 11th of November, with Westminster Abbey serving as the final resting place for the departed monarch. The grandeur of the Abbey, steeped in history and tradition, provided a fitting setting for the interment of a ruler who had witnessed and shaped significant chapters in the annals of the nation. The king's instructions for his burial added a poignant touch to the proceedings. George II had left explicit directives for the sides of his and his wife's coffins to be removed, a symbolic gesture that allowed their mortal remains to intermingle for eternity. This act of unity in death bespoke a desire for eternal togetherness, transcending the boundaries of earthly constraints. As the nation mourned the loss of its monarch, historians and contemporaries alike reflected on the reign of George II. His longevity, marked by triumphs and challenges, had left an undeniable imprint on the pages of history. The events surrounding his death served as a reminder of the fragility of life, even for those who occupied the lofty heights of power. The legacy of George II endured beyond the confines of his mortal existence. His reign, characterized by political shifts, military conflicts, and cultural transformations, contributed to the evolving narrative of the British monarchy. The chapter that closed with his passing paved the way for a new era, one that would be shaped by the aspirations and endeavours of his successors. In the aftermath of George II's demise, the echoes of his reign reverberated through the corridors of power and the collective consciousness of the nation. The transition of leadership, accompanied by the rituals of mourning and burial, underscored the cynical nature of monarchy and the perpetual march of time. As the sovereign found his final repose in the hallowed grounds at Westminster Abbey, the intricate tapestry of British history absorbed another thread. The death of George II was not merely the end of an individual's journey, but a juncture that marked the intersection of past and future, a moment that would shape the destiny of a nation for generations to come. In the wake of George II's passing, his legacy became an integral thread woven into a rich tapestry of British history. The rituals surrounding his death, from the post-mortem revelation of thoracic aortic dissection to the symbolic gesture of intermingling coffins, underscored the profound impact of his reign. As the nation mourned and reflected on the cynical nature of monarchy, George II's departure became a poignant chapter, reminding all of the transient nature of power and the enduring legacy left by those who once occupied the throne.